What's up, guys? Doug Lane here, Fast Lane Car Care. To show you what we're working on today. We got this 1997 Chevy truck. This has got some DIY tint on it. What we are tasked with today is taking off this big old windshield strip. We're going to do a full windshield, and then they said like 2 inches. They want their strip behind that to be like 2 inches higher than what it's at. This is a younger person. You can see we got some kind of adhesive residue all over this. I'm gonna guess they probably had them like towing mirrors that, like, I don't know, glue on or whatever. It's on both mirrors. We're gonna go ahead and knock that off. Get rid of that glue for them. We got the stuff to do it. It ain't gonna take but a minute or two. I'll show you the other side. You can see it's got all that junk on there. So let's go ahead and hit her with the old spray away. You can see we got lots of dust and contamination in there. Hopefully the camera picks it up. I'm not gonna, light gap. I'm not gonna bash on them too much, man. These are tough trucks to tint, because you got this border right here, and then there's a rubber seal. Same way with over here, but this one's even a smaller border. Not really super important. Like I said, DIY job. Oh, sorry guys. DIY job, younger person. I'm gonna commend them for trying. Most people won't give it a shot, and so most people, when I tell them, like, there's one of my customers that I actually give my old film scraps to pretty frequently. They'll say, well, aren't you afraid they're gonna start doing it themselves, or this, that, or the other? No, not really. I don't really care, because, like, you can see the tint job on this is, not great. Is it good enough for this truck, for this person? Probably, or else they're still rocking it. They haven't torn it off yet. But with that said, that's why I don't really worry. I don't really worry about what I don't worry about giving away samples. Or scrap rolls and stuff like that, because if anything, what I've found is when people try to do the work themselves, they realize how difficult it actually is, and then they appreciate what you're doing for them that much more. So I'm not gonna flap my gums too much. I might put on the old head rig there and bring you guys along. I don't know. We'll measure this, take this mirror off. We got GoPro trying to do some image stabilization. But yeah, just DIY job. I don't know if you guys can see the texture there, but yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get started on this. Might bring you guys back maybe for the final install, I don't know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Alright guys, I'm gonna shrink this bad boy. We got a glass aid on here. You can see there's not a huge amount of curve. There's also not a whole lot of border. I don't use glass aid all the time, but being that we're doing this dark and it's got this factory strip, it's gonna make this top edge pretty difficult to see, even with the light. So I figured if I'm gonna glass aid the top, might as well glass aid the rest of it. Then I don't have to mess around with the light. So, some people will have some difficulty with this. They'll get to the corners and they'll have a lot of extra film. So what I like to do on these Chevys and the body style after it, I like to do the corner first. What that's going to do is it's going to push some of this film over here where it's more flat. I don't know if you guys can see that in the light, but there's basically nothing to shrink there. So I'm going to shrink about I don't know, what do you say, maybe a foot? Now, if you're just starting out, man, glass aid is going to kind of throw you off with your shrink, because it's not going to lay down perfect right there. But if you're experienced, it's not really going to bother you. Alright guys, this thing's filthy. I don't know if you could tell in the earlier video. Earlier in the video, there's like literally stuff written in dust and all that stuff. Normally I wouldn't hit this with all-purpose cleaner, but you know, the truck's dirty, filthy. So, also you're probably wondering why I went ahead and went across that. I'll probably actually make that bigger, but it's just a little peephole so you can actually read the VIN number. Choose your own adventure on that. You can go around it, or you can do like I did and leave a little peephole. I'm not gonna say how dark this windshield is, but being that it's as dark as it is, you're not gonna be able to read that. You know, you're not gonna be able to read that VIN number from the outside, which, you know, some people won't care, some people will care. Just want to go ahead and scrub this real well. Scrub around this, scrub on it. I know I've showed you guys the rest of the tint on this, but I don't like to match it, you know what I mean? I want to make sure my tint is just undoubtedly, you know, undoubtedly better. So, could we get away with doing something different? Yeah, we could pretty much get away with just slapping it on there, but we're not going to. We're gonna treat this just like it was a brand new, you know, $100,000 vehicle. That's just what I like to do for the most part. I mean, when you're working on something this old and in this condition, you know, you gotta have some realistic expectations, but that doesn't mean that you have to just give up and, you know, not try your best. At least that's my opinion. So these are kind of, I don't want to say they're easy. They're not super difficult to do. Couple of things that might throw a new person off is just how much or how little of a border you have to cut on the outside. But as you already saw, using glass aid will certainly help. You don't have to have glass aid. You can definitely do these trucks without, but if you got a good light, that'll help you out as well. Not using a soak rope on this one. I know I probably should, but you know, these old school trucks just, they don't have the same electronics that new vehicles do. And to be completely honest with you, I really just don't want to risk messing up my soak rope trying to stick it down here in the unknown, which, hey, that's, you know, again, choose your own adventure. If you want to do it, you know, do it. If you're worried about it, go for it. Now, one disadvantage we have, right, we may not have all the same electronics that new cars have, but there's also a good chance that we've got some aftermarket wiring down there from different things that, you know, could cause us problems, but that's a risk that you have to be willing to take. You've got to you know, decide for yourself if you want to soak rope it, don't soak rope it. Like I said, choose your own adventure. So just scratching my leg on the rust. So I don't know if you guys can see this here, but gonna go up. Right about there. Now on these, I like to do the little peephole for those. Again, you know, you do you. I like to do it because here's my thought process on it. If the vehicle ever gets stolen or anything like that, you know, the vehicle may be locked. There may not be any way to properly identify it without having it unlocked. So, I mean, call it silly or whatever. That's why I like to do the little peephole. That, and also, which isn't gonna, you know, really apply to this, but a lot of like your newer stuff, if you need anything for it, it's all done by VIN number. So like you go to the dealership and you need, you know, I don't know, a sensor or module or whatever, they're not going to ask you for your year, make, and model. They're going to ask you for your VIN number. It's just kind of annoying to have to go open the door and bend your head all around and all that stuff to try to find your VIN when it's literally right there on the dash. So, also another thing with like older vehicles like this, a lot of times these get painted and people just paint right over the VIN tag or whatever. So, you know, I've seen that happen several times. Probably looking at these little side fingers, thinking that we're gonna have a problem. We might. But if you got a problem, yo, I'll solve it. I think that was Vanilla Ice that said that, wasn't it? Down underneath our wiper. I'll touch on this for just a quick minute too. A lot of people are always trying to like cut down their time, trying to get to that elusive 1 hour per car. And one thing that you can do that will save you a lot of time is not walk around the vehicle so much. What I mean by that is like, see how I ended up over here, and now I'm going to start my reverse roll over here, where a lot of times people will do, you know, they'll do this side, then they'll go around to the driver's side, and then they'll come back here and roll up their film, and then they got to walk back around, and, you know, you're just taking unnecessary trips. I don't know if you can see this, but I'm just rolling this up. Just trying to keep it pretty even, but it's already off. You can tell by the way this is wrapped around. Our release liner is kind of we can just stop right there. We don't have to roll it all the way up. You may have a different installation style, and that's okay. So what I like to do is, honestly, I like to be pretty much in the middle, but yeah, it's kind of tough to do. This one, this is bolted in, so what we're gonna do is just try our best. I don't like to spray all the way at the top because I find that it drags stuff out from up above the headliner, especially on something this old. I just want to get this, you know, pretty much on the glass. I don't want the release liner to touch the glass if I can help it, which is why we, you know, usually kind of roll it under. But we can also just kind of roll that pretty much all the way out. It's also nice that this truck is really nice and cleaned out for us. That makes life really easy, you know. But just gotta do what you can with what you got. You see how I'm not letting it touch that pillar? I'm gonna slide this down into place. We're still not touching. Now we're gonna wrap this up in the headliner. And we're just grazing the edge. So just pull that down, pull that right about there. Now that's gonna hold it. It's gonna hold it where we want it for right now. And when it comes to doing these, I like to be smooth, but I don't want to dally around too much. I don't want to take too much time because the film will start to tack, and the more time you spend with the adhesive off the glass, the more chances you have of contamination coming in. So I'll look right about there, center that up where we had it, and you know we're going to be really dang close because that's about how we had it cut on the outside. We've got everything overlapped. Our little peephole is pretty close. We could shift it over just a smidge, but we're not going to worry about it because then we're going to, you know, we don't have a whole lot of room over there. So another thing that I've learned that I like to do is I like to push my moisture to the side, but I don't want to go all the way out, if that makes sense. I'll take this, I'll just kind of push around and away from that so that it doesn't try to suck crap back in from around this button. And same deal. I'm up, you know, over top of the edge there. So what we got going on here is pushing everything out to the edge, but not, it lets us prevent these vacuums from forming, which we kind of got some anyway, but not as bad as what it would have been. And lets that water just kind of drain out naturally, so to speak. So I can't really reach right there, so let's come back. And I'm just using my paint clean as like an initial pass just to kind of distribute the film, make sure we don't hit any dry spots. You see how this is creating a finger, like a, you know, curve or whatever? The film is telling us where it wants to go. So if we just listen to it and do what we got to do there, we'll be golden. Now we're just going to switch to hybrid because I want to actually, you know, push all that down, get it distributed a little bit better, and mainly because it's on a handle, I can get better leverage and I can reach down there in the dash, towards the dash a little bit better, if you can see that. Alright, so now we've pretty much got everything but this part here, so we'll just come back across, do our same thing. Now I just want to kind of push that out, run that kind of down, and just go ahead and give her a quick miss so we can run the bulldozer.
I like to overlap my strokes about anywhere between 30 to 50%. And I like to make 2 passes like that, right? And so then we'll just come back. Give it a quick mist. Now we're going to put some pressure on it with the hybrid. And when I do that, guys, I'm putting quite a bit of pressure down on it. We got something hard right there that we couldn't get off with our scrubby. Doing an old truck like this, man, it's hard to tell. It's probably been welded on and stuff like that, so that's what I was talking about, like realistic expectations, you know. You could sit and razor blade the whole windshield. A lot of times you end up scratching it. I shouldn't say a lot of times, but you just never know, because this glass is aftermarket, so it could be quite soft. I'd rather deal with a speck of something right in the, you know, it's out of the way, basically. I'd rather deal with a little speck of something than have the window all scratched up. It's just going to make it look more obvious. Especially on an old truck like this, it's, you know, not going to be as perfect as a new car, despite our best efforts. So, just want to go around the edges with my towel. You can use a shop towel, you can use a microfiber. All we're doing is pushing out any moisture that might be on the edge of the film, and keep it from getting sucked back in the film. So you see I have a Sharpie mark right there. That is where the original strip was. Our strip that we're going to put on is going to be 2 inches shorter. So then that's the next step. I'm not going to bore you with that, guys. We're going to measure it out and you know, measure it out and get it happening here. Oh, good, I was worried about that. I saw those streaks and I was like, man, don't tell me I got something under the film. But anyway, we'll measure this out, get this strip laid. I'll bring you guys back when it's all finished. All right, you guys, we're all finished. We got the full windshield done. Strip behind that. All we got to do is put our rearview mirror back on. Don't pay attention to that. We didn't do that. There's the view looking out. This isn't really my style. I don't like to go that dark on a shield, but we got the mirror, got all that glue off of it. Like I said, I think it was from those like clip-on or glue-on mirror, like tow mirrors or whatever, but got that one off too. Got that Starlight tint. Again, not our work. We were just contracted to do the windshield. You can see it's got bolt holes up there. It's got a visor that's laying in the back of the truck. I guess it's gonna go back on, I don't know. But that's all I got for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.